PlayStation Magazine has leaked. We have 38 games, according to the magazine, that are going to come to the next gen consoles. So we're going to break down each one of those games and maybe show you a little bit of the clips that we have so far. So let's start with the games that we know that are coming out at launch. So let's start with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This is a title that I'm really excited for. It's made by Ubisoft, specifically Ubisoft Montreal. We've already seen a trailer and some gameplay, or at least a gameplay trailer. But either way, this game looks really good. Next gen is going to be amazing. I am super excited for this game. Also announced in the Inside Xbox show, we have Dirt 5. It's made by Codemasters. We have FIFA 21 that's also launching with the next gen consoles, made by EA, Vancouver specifically. We have the controversial Madden 21, who claimed that they would support smart delivery on the Xbox and then backtrack to some sort of free upgrade program if you're within a certain amount of time. I have a previous video covering all that info. If you want to check it out, I'll link it above. Also by EA, we have NHL 21. No surprise that we were getting a new NHL, same like Madden, same like FIFA, but good to know that they're coming at launch. We have an adventure horror by the Bloober team called Observer System Redux. Outriders, which is an RPG shooter by People Can Fly and published by Square Enix. We have Quantum Error by the Team Kill Media, which seems to be a horror shooter. I get some real Call of Duty zombies and Resident Evil flashbacks with this one. But we've only seen the teaser, so let's wait and see what else they're going to show us. For those fishing fans out there, we have Ultimate Fishing Simulator 2, made by Ultimate Games, or it's actually made by Codemasters, published by Ultimate Games. It's just a fishing simulator, but seems actually pretty fun. We have WRC 9. Fans of that series will be happy to know that it's coming out with next-gen consoles. We also have Godfall. Everyone has seen this trailer at the 2019 Game Awards. This was the first PlayStation 5 title that was announced. It's made by Counterplay Games, published by Gearbox. The rumors on this game is that it's coming to PC also, and it's only going to be a timed exclusive on the PS5, at which point it'll then go to every console, but that's just a rumor for now. We still don't have confirmation. Rainbow Six Siege is a very popular Ubisoft game developed by Ubisoft Montreal. Ubisoft is a big company that has a lot of different studios. This one in particular, Ubisoft Montreal, tactical shooter, PvP, is very popular now. I have this one gentleman on Instagram that constantly sends me clips of him destroying others on Rainbow Six Siege. He's very good. I enjoy watching the clips. So I'm sure him, amongst others, are going to be very excited that this game is coming to next-gen consoles. Another popular title that's out right now is Warframe. That's also been announced for next-gen consoles. So next, let's hit the games list that's supposedly 6 to 12 months out. Could be a little more, could be a little less, but typically that's what they're projecting is 6 to 12 months. So we're going to start with Path of Exile 2. Path of Exile 1 is already out. This looks like a top-down shooter, and it's supposed to have a correlation with the first one, but I think this is like an alternative to the story. Either path that you take, Exile 1 or this new one, Exile 2, I think they both lead to the same ending. Maybe the ending is going to be a bit different or some type of variation of the one from the first game. So we'll see on that one. So next, this one is pretty interesting to me. It's called Signy All Guns Blazing. It's made by Keelworks. It's an arcade shooter. It really reminds me of a modern day Galaga. I actually think this is already out on PC. I'm not too sure on that one, but we know that it is coming to next gen consoles. So this one should be interesting. I'll keep an eye out on this one. We also have Dauntless, developed by Phoenix Labs and published by Epic Games. This looks like some sort of hack and slash. It really, the best way I could describe it is if you take Monster Hunter and strip it down to the bare minimum and throw on some Fortnite art style and maybe even some Fortnite elements and gameplay, you mix the two together and then you get Dauntless. I am interested in this game though, so this is another one that I'll add to the list to keep an eye out for. Dying Light 2. Now, we've known about this game for a while now. It's made by Techland, and it's basically an action RPG, a horror survival game. The decisions that you make in the game affect the outcome later on. It's very interesting. This game has been delayed quite a few times, but again, according to the rumors, it should be out in the next 6 to 12 months. Another title by Ubisoft, Gods and Monsters, specifically Ubisoft Quebec. This is an action adventure. It's brought to us by the same people that made Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So what does that mean? We can pretty much expect a big open world, 200 plus hours of gameplay, and then another DLC that'll involve another 50 hours worth. At least that's what AC Odyssey gave us. Hopefully it's not that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but it was just so long of a game. By the time I was through with it, I was exhausted. So we're still not sure what Gods and Monsters is. It does have some like a cartoonish art style. Some people are linking it to Zelda Breath of the Wild or Link's Awakening, but we'll see. Moving on, we have a game called Microman. It's produced and developed by Glob Games. It's an action adventure, sort of an indie. He's supposed to be a laboratory worker. Maybe he's a janitor. It's not clear, but he's in overalls. I'm not really sure what laboratory allows overalls and not a lab coat. Anyway, this guy goes into this machine where he's now shrunk to the size of an ant. So akin to Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and then on Xbox they're developing Grounded, which is also similar. But that's all the details we have on this game. Nothing yet. Hopefully we get a trailer that gives us more. Let's move on to Rainbow Six Quarantine. This is also Ubisoft Montreal. It's a tactical shooter PvE. This one looks like it's going to be a co-op PvE version of Rainbow Six Siege. I know a lot of people enjoyed the quarantine mode when it was out on Siege, so it looks like it's getting its own game, possibly with some more upgrades. This is an interesting one. Definitely going to keep an eye out. Next we have Scarlet Nexus. It's an RPG made by Bandai Namco. Not really sure what this game is about, but you can't go wrong with an RPG. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. This one's made by Heartsuit Labs. It's an action RPG. I actually think we already saw this one revealed in the Inside Xbox show last or early in the month. This one has a creepy trailer, but creepy enough where I'm interested. Also by Ubisoft Toronto specifically, we have an action adventure game by a little franchise called Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs Legion specifically. Now this one's a bit weird to me because there's no protagonist per se. You can basically permadeath your main character and switch over to a new person. Anybody in the game is playable. That to me is a little weird, but I enjoyed all the previous Watch Dogs 1 and 2, so I'm gonna check this game out solely based off of the franchise. But I'm not really sure if the main character switching on and off, if that's gonna be a deal breaker for me. We'll see. So this game is expected to come out in 2021, early 2021. Lord of the Rings Gollum. I know a lot of Lord of the Rings fans are going to be very happy to play this game. You can basically make right and wrong decisions based on the main character and his alter ego. Looks to be an action adventure fantasy game. It's going to be out on next gen, all consoles. Keeping with 2021, we have a Rat's Quest, The Way Back Home. Now this one is an action adventure. It's coming out on all consoles. Seems to be a rat romance, if you want to put it that way. They describe it as a Romeo and Juliet-esque story. I'm definitely picking this one up. I definitely want to see what type of adventures Rat Romeo is going to get into just to try and get to Rat Juliet. So we'll see. We also have a game called Chorus by Fish Labs. This seems to be a spaceship shooter. I think we also saw this one in the Inside Xbox show. The trailer was pretty cool. I think I want to get some more info on this game before I decide whether I'm going to play it or not. Then we have Battlefield 6. And of course, why wouldn't it be? Battlefield 4 and 5 were such a major success this generation. Of course, we're going to get a Battlefield 6. Made by DICE and published by EA. So if you enjoy a realistic shooter, this is it. Coming out in February of 2021, Nth Zero Infinity Reborn. I'm not sure if that's Nth Zero or Nth to the Zero Power. That's what I'm going to assume it is. This one's going to be a dimension-shattering action RPG with realistic swordplay. No health bars. The battle could be over with one single critical strike. From what we've seen so far, it looks like it's going to be a turn-by-turn combat system. Looks like it's still in early development, but I'd like to get more information on what they mean by dimension-shattering action RPG. Coming out in the summer of 2021, This one is made by the publishers and developers called Everything is Full of Gods. It's an action RPG. We don't know much about it just yet, but look for it summer 2021. Next, we have Soulborn, which is an action RPG. It's going to be an open world. They describe it as if you mix Zelda with The Witcher, then you'll get this game. It's inspired by Norse mythology and the conflict of humans living in the absence of the fallen gods. You get to play with Thor's mighty hammer Mjolnir, and apparently it can transform into different weapons or even different monsters to help you out in your adventure. These are now games that don't have an exact ETA or anything like that, but they're at least 12 months out. Could be 24 months, maybe longer. We don't know just yet. Dragon Age 4. I'm sure BioWare fans will be excited for this game. It's an action RPG. The previous games were pretty successful, so I'm expecting a lot from this game. Gothic Remake, which is developed by Piranha Bytes. It's an action RPG. It's a fantasy game. I'm sure fans of the previous Gothic game will be excited that a new remake is coming out. So developer Rig Crew, they're creating a game called Psy Hotel. It's a simulator where you take on the role of the owner of a cozy hotel. It's away from civilization. Here's the kicker. All of your clients and everyone staying at this hotel is a criminal or a psychopath. Made by Rebellion, we have Sniper Elite 5. The Sniper Elite series overall is a very highly underrated series. I just finished Sniper Elite 4 myself, and I gotta tell you, I enjoyed the heck out of that game, especially playing co-op. So Bethesda gave us a game that they teased. They showed us a really small trailer. Not really sure what it's about. It's called Starfield. All we know that it's the first RPG in about 25 years that Bethesda has produced, and it's set in space. That's really all we know. Staying with Bethesda, they're also giving us a game that we're pretty familiar with, The Elder Scrolls 6. It's an action RPG. The previous Elder Scrolls have been very popular, so I expect great things from this game. And last, we have Sims 5, published by EA. Sims 5 is going to be very popular. The previous Sims games have had amazing success. EA struck gold with this series, and I'm sure Sims 5 is going to do the same. One more not on the list, but that we know is confirmed for launch is, of course, Fortnite. Fortnite took the world by storm a couple years ago. It seems to have been dying down a bit, but it still has a massive player base. Not as much as it did before when Ninja and Drake and some other people, I forget who right now, when they all started playing and brought down the Fortnite servers. But we know that it's coming back for next gen. Hopefully they give us a better map than this new Chapter 2 has. Maybe Chapter 3 if they want to call it, or go back to Chapter 1, the early seasons. That's when Fortnite was really at its best. So that's all for today's, and that completes our list. Stay tuned. We will cover the PlayStation event that's happening on June 4th, and afterwards we're going to make a reaction video. Not so much a reaction video, but we want to see how what we expected and what they actually show, how they meet, and we'll talk about it.